Xanderhal prides himself on debating people who disagree with him on anything in the marketplace of ideas, and he doesn't limit the people he platforms in order to protect his user base. Oh no, he loves debating fascists, especially about the human rights of the people that he claims to support. But why? If he's a leftist, surely he knows that platforming people with strict ideologies becomes more of a battle to convert the opposing person's audience, but actually you've achieved nothing because the supporters of your point of view stay the same and the supporters of your opponent stay the same. But
the new impressionable viewers that haven't been exposed to either ideology have now been exposed to a violent ideology that will influence them easier and easier depending on their material conditions and prior exposure to fascist ideology in our culture and media that permeates every single ounce of it.
Alright, before he gets into this pretentious little bullshit here, pretentious, that's a really good way to describe him in general. Let's talk about this whole concept of like, you know, the dangers of platforming people. When people like Xanderhal and Vosh and even Destiny have people come on their channel that they debate, generally it's people that are bigger than them, or maybe with a similar size audience. But when they're introducing people to their own, you know, what they're doing is they're introducing people from, say, I don't know, whoever that anti-trans guy was that Zan debated. They're introducing that audience that are going to come and watch the debate because he's debating Zan. They're watching him debate Zan and just get, you know, demolished. I'm not super big on debates specifically. I prefer more kind of takedowns where, like, you know, reacting to like a Ben Shapiro video or something like that. But don't get me wrong, debates absolutely have their place, and they're great to just play in the background while you're doing stuff and just listen to it while you're doing stuff. But debates are good, and I don't understand this like anti-debate idea, because that's one of the things. That's what during the Gamergate era that the right just like loved saying was, "Oh, the left won't debate us. The left won't debate us." Then these debate bros come along, and like here they are. You know, they're ready. Excuse me. They're ready to debate. But like I said, DJ Mule doesn't seem to care about actually positively affecting the material conditions for people. He just wants to sit on his high horse and shit on everybody else.
hey everyone, it's Mule here. What Mule has forgotten is that there are probably a lot of people watching this video who don't understand why the platforming of bad ideas is bad. Debate bros have been taking up space in the online left for some time now, and a lot of their content focuses on debating fascists or conservatives on whether trans people should exist or whether there is actually a white genocide happening. Their entire modus operandi seems to be that we need to convert people who think differently to us. They're obsessed with this idea, even though it was proven wrong 100 years ago by Vladimir Ilyich Lenin, who said this: "Why should we bother to reply to Kautsky? He would reply to us, and we would have to reply to his reply. There's no end to that. It will be quite enough for us to announce that Kautsky is a traitor to the working class, and everyone will understand everything."
Okay. So a few things about this. First of all, this quote is fake. Well, Soaked on Left did a good thing on that too. SDL. This is Soaked on Left, Socialism Done Left. You know that "why should we bother to reply to Kautsky" quote by Lenin? Not actually by him. But I will say, even if it was, it doesn't matter. It's possible that people who had some kind of, you know, ideology that you might even follow, or you took pieces of to follow, doesn't, you know, it's possible that they made mistakes. You know, you don't have to hold people in such a high regard and think that like everything about them is perfect, because it isn't. It's just not. So even if it was true, it's not, but even if it was, it really wouldn't matter. Also, I don't know why I'm not logged in, but I'll deal with that later. The other thing, though, yes, it is important to debate those kind of issues, because while it might be super obvious to people like DJ Mule here, not everybody just comes out of the womb thinking, or the stomach if you're C-section, like I personally was. Not everybody is just born thinking, they're not born, quoting the conquest of bread or some shit, right? Not everybody is born with like super progressive ideas and thinking like, oh yeah, trans people are valid, and these, like, of course not. You have to learn your ideas, and when you have harmful ideas, you have to unlearn them, and there's a whole process. But there's also this thing called diversity of tactics. It's what people like DJ Mule are doing, video essayists and things like that. There's nothing wrong with that in and of itself, but understand that like there are going to be people who aren't moved over as much by that as they are by something like a debate by somebody like Vosh, Destiny, Xanderhal. Vosh had a debate with Charlie Kirk on Tim Pool's podcast, and not Tim Pool's, Charlie Kirk's fans hated it because he destroyed Charlie Kirk. Let me see if I can find even a clip here. Now, Charlie Kirk is like a big time. What are they called? I know this is a catchy thumbnail thing. Let me find it here. Whoops, Charlie Puth. No, let me see here. Charlie. I just want to find. It's like a 17-minute video. Can we? Well, there's that too. But can we? Oh God, I just want to find like a clip. I mean, there is that. They talked about education, and it was really important because essentially, it was a really long debate. But essentially, Kirk, who again, big time conservative, he did this thing where he very specifically said that you have to, or no, Kirk said, I really do want to see if I can find it, but Kirk said that, basically the reason of education, education. Let me see if I can just find a clip on the education part. Oh, God, they're all such long videos. I just want a clip. Well, anyway, wait, here's a short, right? Charlie Kirk lost the debate because of this question. Let's see.
I'm not sure. I'm not familiar. Are you familiar with Alden's theory?
No.
Oh my God.
Oh, okay. Guess I won't answer that
All
question.
right, this is a joke. Wait, let's see.
All right. I'm not sure.
No,
I'm not familiar. Are you familiar with?
A joke. No, I want to see if I can find. Anyway, they talked about education, and Charlie Kirk's stance was essentially that education should be about teaching kids to have like pride for their country and all these different things. And Vosh's standpoint was one of saying, no, it should be teaching people to think and to like come to their own conclusions and like how to learn and like, form their own ideas about the world and stuff like that. And there were just a lot of good points. Of course, they debated the COVID vaccine because that was a hot issue back then. A bunch of different stuff like that. And the people, like Kirk's fans, hated it because Vosh made Kirk look really, really dumb with a lot of things. He made him look really. He, corrected him on a lot of stuff. And again, this is like a big time conservative dude. I mean, I'd love to see him debate like Ben Shapiro or Andrew Tate or something. I mean, Hassan debated Andrew Tate, and he actually did a pretty good job. But maybe I'll talk about Andrew Tate specifically another day. But no, there's a point, there's a purpose to having these debates. It's important. Yeah, they talk about critical race theory, all kind of stuff. It's important to talk about these kind of things. But people like DJ Mule here, again, think that this stuff should just be like obvious and no one should have their views challenged. What you end up with when you have that, by the way, is everybody who already agrees with you just continues to agree with you, but the people who don't agree with you are, like, because most people, especially politically speaking, are more in the middle. They're not right or left per se. They need kind of, pushing or pulling in one direction or the other. So if DJ Mule is really a leftist, as he claims to be, he shouldn't be against this and should understand concepts like the diversity of tactics and stuff like that. But he's actually going to use a lot of terminology, a lot of like leftist terminology that it's just so cringe how he uses it. But again, we'll continue here.
And of course,
by the way, I just want to point out we're only 5 minutes into this video. Just want to bring that up. No reason.
Multiple real instances of people
out of an hour and a half, so we'll be here a while.
That these nerds have debated who have remained steadfast in their fascist opinions. So there you have it. Now you're briefed on the debate person, the type of leftist who simply thrives on drama and doesn't give one iota of shits.
Simply thrives on drama. Main video on the page.
As to whether people are actually doing on-the-ground organizing, activism, or doing anything progressive at all. They love leftism as an aesthetic, as it were.
This just sounds like projection, because it's funny that he says they love leftism as an aesthetic, because that's entirely what this guy does, from the terminology that he uses, all the different things. I could even argue that his appearance is supposed to be like a typical leftist, with the long beard, the glasses, all that, whatever. But like, it's hilarious. It really is. Yeah, like I said, a ton of people have ripped this to shreds, but I'm throwing my hat into the ring too.
Anyway, back to Mule.
I will say, I do think that editing is kind of funny and good. How it's done. I think this is kind of cool.
Thanks, Mule. So like
I said, I'll give points where they're worth.
Question remains: does Xanderhal know that platforming fascists?
Oh, on the note of giving points, by the way, I think he's got nice eyes, and I like his background too.
Goes against everything that leftists stand for. How many fascists has he de-radicalized? Something that's important to point out is that the de-radicalization of fascists is a very real discussion that leftists are going to have at some point, as Nazi views and ideology have the possibility to outlast the potential revolution or global shift towards more radically left-wing politics. What I do know of this kind of action that...
Okay, the revolution... He's a LARPer. He thinks we're going to be going for a revolution against capitalism in the next, month or something. I'm telling you, people like this, they're just everything wrong with the left. Everything.
Exists so far is that it's...
People like this, by the way, are the kind of leftists that conservatives love, because they can point to people like him and say, "Oh, look at how ridiculous these people are." Yeah, you're not doing well for us, bro.
Undertaken mainly by charities like Hope Not Hate, who tend to infiltrate telegram groups of fascists like the BNP or the EDL in the UK, who create disorder and sow dissent amongst the rank and file fash in the movements who are losing faith in them due to the fact that they're not really addressing their material conditions and seem to be focused on something that is more of a losing battle. What is certainly not effective is nerds on the internet debating them, especially when those nerds every now and then let their mask slip a little bit and repeat the same fascist talking points they've been arguing against. No, as you can see here, the debate lord Xanderhal tends to actually just focus on drama, which...
These are thumbnails. They're clickbait. That's the whole point. That's how the game works. You did it too. Everybody does this.
Is annoying, because you can see from some of his other videos, he's right about some stuff, which is good. But then, why does he focus on myopic things like people on...
Thumbnails and titles, by the way. God damn it.
Twitter.
Okay, I'm trying to get a... Alright, whatever. Anyway, thumbnails and titles have to be, really eye-catching and like provocative and stuff, because like you got to get people's attention.
Not agreeing with him? Why does he use words like woke scold and cry bully? What do those words even mean? Another thing to be aware of.
Well, a woke scold is the kind of person that will, let's give an example here. A woke scold might be somebody who purports ideas like, if you are an ally to the LGBT community, you have to date a trans person, otherwise you're a bigot. No, preferences are valid. That's just one thing. That would be one example of a woke scold. And a cry bully, basically a cry bully is just somebody who would be like, they're using their victimization of some way, kind of, they're weaponizing their victimization of something and kind of using it to, like, you know, hurt somebody, to bully somebody else. Cry bully. There you go.